What's up, YouTube? I am back on the mats today. I got two rolls for you, both Nogi. I'm not really sure the belt levels of the two guys I roll with, so I'm gonna just jump right in to this first roll here. So it looks like he was doing like a step back for maybe some sort of ankle lock or knee bar, something like that. I defended, and he did a good job of countering and went right to the mount. So I didn't really give him a chance to settle in or anything like that. I went straight for the trap and roll. So now I'm in his guard. Just trying to work some guard breaks. So right here he went for like a Russian tie. I don't know if he was setting me up for a triangle to push that arm through or what, but I was being aware, and I'm blocking that. So he set up for a sit-up sweep, and as soon as he opened his guard, I stepped back, and then it looks like he went for like a guillotine. So that was a nice little chain there by him. But, I defended everything. And so here I see him scooting in again for some more foot, ankle, ankle locks. And you see my ankle brace right there. So I'm not really a fan of ankle locks. So I'm just getting that foot off of my hip. And I just jumped over for that kind of flying Kimura. And I went to get on his back, and during that scramble I found myself in a head and arm choke right here. And that's another reason why I like making these videos, to look at myself. So right here I'm just picking myself apart. I'm way too high. My hips is way too high. I should have left my hips down on the mat, and I probably would have got the finish here. But he did a good job of getting me into his half guard. And when you in somebody's half guard and he had that the telephone defense, I mean, for me to just sit there and squeeze, it'd be just a waste of time. So I let it go, kind of let the roll keep going, and just flow. So right here, I think I started to dig for a underhook. We'll get back in the frame in a second. So yeah, I'm starting to dig for an underhook, and so is he. So again, I'm just trying to keep my head position right and get that underhook. But he beat me to the underhook. So in a second, he'll come up on both knees, and he's going to try to turn that into a single leg. But luckily I got my overhook. And usually when I'm in this position, the person will just get up for a single leg and kind of reverse it. But I kind of ad-libbed here and just took a big back step with my left foot, and now I'm still on top. And I think the time ran out, or the buzzer went off, but the round wasn't over, so we just reset in like a few seconds. That's why the frame jumped like that. So right here, I'm trying to set up for an omoplata. He felt it coming. He did a good job of rolling through. So what I was trying to do is step back and get a mounted triangle. And from here on, pretty much, in my mind, I had mounted triangle. So that's kind of what I was going for. That's like the theme of this video, mounted triangles. So I kind of did a little unorthodox mount. So I just jumped my left leg over. And usually, I mean, that's like a 50-50 move when I try to get to the mount that way. Sometimes the person will see it coming and just block my leg, and sometimes, like in this case, I'll get that leg over. So right now I'm just pushing down. I push down on his right leg. I'm sorry, on his right arm to get my left leg over. So I'm kind of in a mounted triangle situation here. I still got to get my figure four on the back here, but he also, just to be mindful, he has his hands connected right now. So it's probably uncomfortable for him, but it's not really a choke at this point. Again, it's probably a little uncomfortable. I'm kind of leaning my weight forward on that elbow. I was hoping that he would, disconnect his hands, and I'd have like a cleaner triangle. So it's not the case. I rolled to try to finish it more traditionally. He did a good job by just sitting back, popping his head out, and kind of came out the back end on that one. And right here, it's a good, for me, in my case, to be aware. So I was really close to getting triangle right there. If I would have came up with my head all up in the air, he probably would have triangled me right there. That's a good thing to be aware of. When you're in a triangle, be aware of the omoplata. If you're in the omoplata, be aware of the triangle. So he did a good little arm drag there. My balance was just way off right there. I just flopped to the ground right there, and he did a nice little back step. And he really wasn't in too much danger right there when I threw my right leg over his head, because my left leg was still between his legs. So right here, I'm just stiff arming him because I felt him get real low and try to control both of my legs. That's never good when somebody has control of both of your legs. So I reached over for the Kimura right there a couple times. And I tried to roll out, and sometimes when I roll out like that, I'll end up on the person's back, or I can even get up for a Kimura. So that roll was over, and the second roll right here, again, it kind of starts off with some ankle feet play, and I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of the ankle. I mean, I have like some general, the basics of when it comes to some foot locks, but I do know I don't want his left leg, how it keeps coming up on my hip. I don't want that on my hip, so I keep pushing that off my hip. Boom, keep pushing off my hip. So even though he didn't get the submission, I didn't tap here, but he did a good job of using that threat, that attack to make me end up on the bottom pretty much. So I'm looking at his left arm, waiting to get that Kimura grip on it. So boom, I get the grip. You can't really see it here, but in that last roll, this is what I was attempting to do. So I rolled to the opposite side. So I have the Kimura grip, boom, and I rolled to the opposite side. And what I should have did here, looking back on it, I should have just came up to my knees here, but I was being lazy, and I kind of stayed on that left hip. You see I'm laying on my hip? I should have just came up, and I already have the Kimura grip. And I may have been able to finish it, but I ended up just trying to get on the back here. I think I got one hook in. I'm trying to get that second hook in, but he wasn't having it. He was real tight to his body. And again, the theme kind of this video is mounted triangle. So I'm going to kind of scoop my hips out and come back up. So now I'm just stabilizing, don't want to get pushed off. So right here, I'm thinking that, because I kind of see his leg, the leg that's straight right there, I'm thinking that he's working on a trap and roll. So I was waiting for him to trap my leg, and I was going to just slide my left knee up to, kind of behind his head to kind of go for some arm bars. But he actually did it. He kind of tricked me, so he went to the other side. He went to the other side that I was thinking that he was going to go to. So right here, I'm kind of playing a little mind game too. So I'm kind of pushing on his left arm, but I really wanted him to get that right arm down so I can step over. And again, that's that mounted triangle. And I think he still has his hands connected too. So again, it's not really a choke right now. It's probably uncomfortable, but I'm not really choking him right now. So right here, I'm kind of ad-libbing. Usually I might go for like an arm bar or something like that, but I thought that I could maybe get like a cradle submission right here, but I really just pulled him on top of me. I'm still in a pretty good position. Still have the triangle on him, but he's gonna start posturing up like a lot, which is what most people do when they caught in the triangle. What I need to be doing right now is getting my angle, putting my foot on the hip and kind of getting that angle. But he did a good job of posturing up, and when people posture up like this, I'm just trying to time it. Once he postures up, I just do that back handspring thing, and I end up on top. Sometimes it's just you end up on top and you might lose the triangle. Kind of depends on how the person falls, how you fall. But luckily for me in this case, I was able to keep the triangle and be on top. So right now I'm just thinking, maybe if I can get an arm, or because the way my feet are underneath him, I can't really finish the triangle. My feet are just kind of trapped. Can't even squeeze if I wanted to right here on my legs. So I'm just trying to think maybe I can get an arm or maybe a wrist lock or something like that. But we started to get a little close to the other two guys rolling right here. So I think in a second I just kind of let my triangle go so we wouldn't roll into these guys. Yeah, and he just gets up on top. We're trying to get away from those two guys. So right here I'm on bottom. I put my left leg up, make sure he doesn't get the mount. Now right here, I see that he's trying to isolate my right arm. And I mean, I don't feel like I'm in too much danger, but I really don't want him to step over. I don't want him to step over my head. And you see me blocking right there. I don't want him to step over. So right at this point, I think I just squirmed right here. Like right when he tried to go for the key lock, I kind of squirmed up and got my underhook, and I came back up on top. And I believe the round ended in a few seconds here. No, yeah, again, he went for another, looked like a shin-on-shin ankle lock entry type of deal. But, I just kind of kept my weight back and defended here. And, again, the time's going to run out. So, thank you for watching. Again, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. And also, please share these videos. If you think somebody may benefit from these type of videos, just share it, let them know, and that way we can kind of keep the channel growing. Again, thanks for watching.